What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk about Faraday Future, tickers FFIE. I want to give you a good breakdown of some of the data points, what shorts are doing, and just generally where things might be going from here. Before I get into any of that though, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So Faraday Future is currently down 5.38%, a little bit low for volume, so 1.5 million shares being traded, 8.8 is the average. These are the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market over the last several days. So today there's actually been none over $100,000. So unfortunately, big money is not getting in as much as they once were. And these are all the transactions that have occurred on the dark pool. So dark pool, there hasn't been any transactions over $100,000 since the 19th. So dark pool is linked to shorting. So it looks like shorts aren't necessarily even doubling down or doing much as of late. So I'll give you an overview of what shorts are doing, and then I'll go over some of the other data points. So right now, short score is currently 75. Utilization is 67.46%. And as far as right now, shorts are increasing around 10,000 shares. So a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of things, considering 4.37 million shares overall are being shorted. 27.14% of the free float is being shorted. So that is really, really high in my own opinion, not a financial advisor, of course. It is still on the threshold and it's been there almost 2 weeks. And like I've said in the past, technically, when it comes to the threshold list, if a stock is on there for 13 consecutive days, this is where the SEC, in theory, is supposed to come in and cause the market maker to buy back any of the deficient shares. So I'll give you an overview of what that might look like. So as you can see, so pulling up Faraday Future. So Faraday Future, there is quite a lot of failure to deliver. So in theory, like I said, if it is on this list for 13 consecutive days, market makers are supposed to cover a lot of this. But whether they do or not, that's a whole nother topic, because I think that's one aspect of the SEC that has been very lacking as far as that goes. But still, 27.14% is relatively high, like I mentioned. But as far as overall options activity today, as you can see, currently there's around $77,000 in calls being purchased versus 563,000 in puts. So based on this information, people are anticipating for it to continue to trend down. So once again, that is something that isn't necessarily the best. But as far as the specific intraday things that you need to kind of watch for, with it right now being at $3.69, it is above the 350 strike price. So if it does stay above 350 going into and closing tomorrow, it does look like there's going to be around 102. So very small amount of options that are going to be exercised in the money. So definitely market makers had a bit of a financial interest to bring Faraday Future down to ensure that a lot of these options were not going to get exercised. But at the time of doing this video, there hasn't been any recent SEC filings. There was this that did come out, it looks like yesterday, and this is more of a piggybacking from last week. So it looks like another individual from Selling Sunset did take possession of their vehicle. So of course, I think that's a fairly good thing. Based on this news last week though, that caused and prompted a 40% rally, a huge day. But as well, in this PR, it kind of snuck it in slightly, but it does say since last Thursday, it did regain compliance with the minimum bid requirement. So that's something they really didn't showcase as much as I would have liked to saw, even though technically I've already done a video at that stage. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, in fact, NASDAQ already removed their name from the non-compliant list. So in theory, I think it was earlier than Thursday, but I could be wrong. But ultimately, with all of this data, big money taking a step back, a lot of people want to know, where is Faraday Future going? Because it's gone down quite a lot ever since the 1-for-80 reverse stock split. So looking on the actual chart, it is well below a lot of the pivotal moving averages. It is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. It does seem to have held at least this support level around here. So 338, clearly it did bounce off of, and then 350. But as far as looking at some of the fib levels, with it at $3.69, and just looking at the 4 hour right now, it does look like $3.27 is going to be the next strong support, and $3.83 is going to be that next strong resistance. So of course, like I've signaled in the past, these are kind of wide, these pivot points, so you just have to anticipate a lot of volatility no matter what. But given the fact that there is this amount of fear that's happening in the market right now as a result of Powell, I feel like some of that is just unjustified. So I feel like in reality, it could actually bounce from here, maybe tomorrow. Obviously, I think today is a little bit more of a write-off, but I do feel that tomorrow it could potentially retest this 383, and depending on how much buying power is in the market, especially for Faraday, it could potentially trade between this S1 and the pivot. But regardless, I think in the bigger picture though, Faraday future is definitely moving in the right direction, and this actual PR, it does state that exact same thing, saying right here, the company views these latest delivery and compliance milestones as a reflection of a positive shift in the company's operating fundamentals. So yes, short term has sucked. Actually, for the last 6 months, give or take, it has sucked. But bigger picture, this is where if you are investing, take advantage of these discounted prices, but make sure you guys always do your own due diligence, because at companies like Faraday Future, it does have a lot of risks, and that's a little bit more of an understatement. So once again, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, selling, or holding over the last little bit, and what's your kind of take on all of this. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, even though Faraday Future is doing its thing, going up, down, sideways, a lot of volatility, take advantage of this promo because it is free share. Sign up for an account with Moomoo and throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued up to $2,000. So this is one of the best deals out in the market. Link in the description below and also the comments. And with all that said, I appreciate you all watching, and let's eventually down the line make a lot of money on Faraday Future.